Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you very much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a look here at KuCoin, see what's going on, and identify kind of where it's going here from moving forward, of course. It's doing very well in the last 48 to 32 hours, or sorry, 48 to 72 hours, and we're looking pretty good. And I want to kind of show you what I feel might actually be leading to a breakout here. Now, if you're not familiar with the channel, not a financial advisor, right? I love teaching people how to trade, but I just want to let you know that this is my passion, this is my day job. I do this every day for a living. And it's amazingly rewarding to be able to trade for a lifestyle, right? And to be able to share that with other people and help empower them. So if you want to become a better trader, CryptoCache.tech is a site. Link in the description below. I provide a signal group, trading community, and trading academy, basically teaching you how to trade, showing you how to trade, structuring the trades for you, and if you want to follow them, you can. All right, it's up to you. We've been making a tremendous amount of profit recently, 5 to 25% on average per trade based on leverage and spot. Okay, really cool stuff. All right, so here's the thing with KuCoin. Just to touch on the obvious, we're above the 50-day set moving average. We're seeing this trend a lot with the other coins. It's excellent news. We like to see that. It's very good news. And we've been above the 200 pretty much this entire time. So all good stuff there in that sense. The thing I want to touch on is this trend line breakout. And again, using the daily essentially as a rough estimate there. Because again, when you draw trend lines, I always recommend the daily time frame. That's the best time to work with based on the fact that it gives you a full 24-hour perspective on what happened in that time frame, right? So here with KuCoin, we can see this descending type of pattern where we're making lower highs. Now that reversal has essentially happened to where this most recent price point, it doesn't continue lower. Okay, we broke that trend. So that's step number one, identifying a trend reversal. So that's a reversal in a sense, because we're establishing at the very least, sideways action from here. We're not descending any longer. We're working in a channel. So this is channel trading, or essentially just range trading as they like to call it. And its price is effectively going sideways. Now, when you can anticipate a breakout to the upside, that's when things really get magical. And a lot of coins right now are doing this. I identified Axie 3 days ago before it took off. And it really worked out very well in that sense because it had a very similar trend line to this. And let me explain. So this trend line is coming down, of course, right? And then we got the trend line now progressing upwards. Okay, so hypothetically, just kind of as a rough estimate there, you kind of look at the price action. It hasn't gone any lower, so we're effectively making higher lows. That being said, higher lows, in my personal opinion, are much better than higher highs, and that establishes that trend line, right? We're trending upwards. Now, we haven't broken this trend line yet, and the reason why we haven't broken out is because we have a key level resistance, the most recent high, essentially working as a resistance level, okay? So this is a potential resistance. So what I'm getting at here, so if we were to have a one-day candlestick close above 44.5 cents, we're going to be gravy train, ready to rock and roll to shoot to the upside. What will probably happen too is the price will come up, maybe not as quite as high as 47, but it'll come down to test that support level, the previous resistance. If it establishes support, then it takes off. That's essentially what's going to happen. We're going to see that little liftoff occur soon. So I'm speculating at this point that right now 44.5 cents is a point of contention, and we should likely see it an ascending type of breakout pattern, if not today, very soon in the next week or so. Okay. So I would get prepared and get ready. How big of a breakout? It's hard to say, honestly. I mean, based on Fibonacci retracement levels, it may not be massive, right? I know Crow's done very well before, but you absolutely cannot expect this type of increase here again. It doesn't work that way, at least in most cases. It hasn't had enough time to consolidate. Truth be told, this just happened back in November. I know it seems like a long time ago, right? But 4 months is not enough time for this to mature and to be able to have enough time to contract and kind of build that base. Now, granted, we do have a strong amount of foundational volume here in the current price point and below. And that's extremely important to be able to have that, because without that volume, you create this type of kind of insignificance, if you will. Having so much volume in this range is extremely important, both in the sense that it could work as a potential resistance when we get there. That's why 54 cents is probably going to be a point of contention, and we shouldn't expect the price to just shoot above. Because you got to understand, a lot of people are still holding from here. So they're not going to be able to reinvest here at this point. They probably don't have a lot of money. So there's new money coming in potentially, yes, that requires retail and a lot of other investments to come through. Just us alone are not going to push that price action up. But if we take a look at the current volume comparative to the most recent past, again, not much volume in the general sense, right? That's not a lot compared to previously here, even when the price was coming lower. That being said, this volume needs to increase in order for this push to come up. The likelihood of more volume here soon, once it breaks this resistance level, is higher though. That's the thing you gotta understand. You're gonna see more volume come into the market, or more so into KuCoin, when the resistance level is broken. Okay, people get this fear of missing out that goes on, and it starts to continue to progress upwards. Sometimes short squeezes occur too, because shorts a lot of times will put right above key level resistances. A handful of different things, but the volume is fairly low compared to what we need it to be. If we start seeing increased volume, we're going to see a breakout soon. That is a requirement of this scenario here, and likely breaking a resistance level will cause the volume to increase. All right, so I hope you're running with me there. That's kind of where we're at. All right, back on the traditional TA, we bounced off of 50 on the RSI. We see this a lot with other coins. It's really good, working as a support level, effectively telling us that 40 cents or 40.5 cents is probably the most recent and relatively lowest point in which the price will go. Okay, yes, it could wick down to 37, but 40 cents is probably the lowest point in which we'll see the price action for the moment, or for some time actually, because even if it comes down, we'll see that happen. And likely it coming down again to break this trend line is lower. So we got to give the trend an opportunity to be able to fulfill itself, right? So I'm speculating in the next week or less, possibly even the next couple of days, we'll see a break above 44, increased volume. With increased volume, that price will shoot up. Okay. Again, major resistance at 54 cents. You got to understand, strong amount of volume accumulation there. We're going to see some selling pressure. Between now and then, though, there's a good chance we'll probably see a pump, and you keep in mind that's almost 20%. So that's pretty good little solid investment there. That being said, looking at the 4 hour, we're over 70 on the RSI. I don't love that. We can see that we're overextended on the TD sequential as well. This happens with a lot of coins right now because Bitcoin is overextended too. Bitcoin's not overly extended though. Keep in mind, it's a momentous type of trend and momentum play. Likelihood of Bitcoin continuing higher actually from here is quite high considering the overall sense of things. Please watch my video about Bitcoin that I put out this morning just regarding how and the reason why it is progressing the way that it is. The likelihood of it selling off hard is very low. We should expect to see the price continue to trend upwards. And we're seeing this trend in a lot of coins, and Crow is no exception. Okay, again, very similar in a lot of ways. That being said, though, the trend line here is essentially looking like it wants to break. Okay, so that being said, we're at a 9, hitting into a trend line. One or two things could happen. The price could shoot up, come back down, and essentially just kind of consolidate right there. Because a lot of times you'll see the price kind of come up and then go for it. We could even see a reversal to come down to the next key level support, 42, and come back up. There's a couple of different scenarios here, but the likelihood of pullback or sideways action is greater than it breaking through that resistance level right now. Another reason why too is this is only the first time it's tested this resistance level in the last month as a rough estimate. So the likelihood of it coming up, getting rejected, and then coming back to try a second time is higher. See, cup and handle. There's a good chance we're going to see something like that to continue this trend line, to bounce off support, and to fulfill its prophecy of shooting higher than 44.5 cents. Okay, so again, generally speaking, we're looking very good here. 4 hour looks great. Again, a bit on the overextended side. That's why I'm expecting somewhat of a pullback. Maybe not significant, but enough to allow that RSI to calm back down under 70. And then on the 1 hour, TD sequential, we're at a 5. So we've seen this too with other coins. So in other words, we could literally see the next 4 hours as a push above that resistance and come back down to test it. So I'd say pay attention to how the price actually responds here soon. If it shoots up, comes back down and tests it, that's probably a really good sign it's going to stay there and continue higher. If it gets rejected and comes down now, that's actually a good sign. Then we can kind of fulfill that handle and get that, get it to kind of get a little bit more volume in a second and a third attempt. Because again, I like threes. Oftentimes when you test a resistance level the first time, it gets rejected. Second time rejected. Third time, if rejected, you can expect the fourth to push through. Or at least the fifth, sixth, or seventh, right? So more importantly, you test something 3 times, the likelihood of it breaking the 4th time is higher. Okay. All right, so things come in threes a lot of times in crypto, but generally speaking here, we're looking good. There's really nothing adverse that I can see here from KuCoin, except for the fact that we're overextended on the short-term time frame, the 1 hour and the 4 hour, more specifically the 4 hour. And that could transition to a red day tomorrow, based on the fact that we have 3 white soldiers here and a 4th day red makes sense. It would actually be awesome if it was red and came back down and did one of these to, again, get this nice little shot to the upside with more volume. I like that. So again, Crow's looking very good here. I think we have a potential breakout. It may not happen today, but I think in the next week we will expect 44.5 to be broken. Okay, and the next target would be 54 cents effectively as the next major resistance level. I hope that makes sense to you and you learned something here today. If you want to learn more, become a better trader, I have a CryptoCache Trading Academy as well as a community to help you learn and grow as a self-sufficient trader. Also sending out signals too for every single trade I take. You can one-click follow if you'd want, or more importantly, just learn how to structure your trades, because we are taking, again, 5, 15, 20, 25% trades recently, and it's awesome to be able to take advantage of that. Thanks again to my community members for joining me here, and everyone else as well. We'll look forward to seeing you. Have a great rest of your day.